What is going on, Movie Meals? Movie Meals, I'm in my car, sun's out, guns out, you know what I'm saying? But before we even do any of that, pay your writers. It's dumb you're not. Pay your freaking writers, pay your actors, pay the people that are making this amazing content we're here to talk about today matter. I'm in my car because filming is going to be difficult, but I told Kyle I wanted to do Oppenheimer's review together. I wanted to do it together. Thank
Mm-hmm.
you, Movie Meal patrons, Camille and Karen. So if there's any tech issues, you're just gonna have to kind of deal with them today. I'm sure you can hear the old AC. It's hot. It's hot, 95 degrees right now. So, but again, thank you. Go pay your writers. Go pay your actors. We are still doing our giveaway of some free merch if you help subscribe and share and all those good things. Get us to 2,000 subs. But yeah, we're here for the Oppenheimer non-spoiler review. So let's get into it. Kyle, what were your positives and your negatives of Oppenheimer?
Uh, well, the positive being is that this movie is freaking fantastic. Even for Christopher Nolan, we're big fans on this channel of him, as I'm sure many other people are. But when it comes to most of his movies, they're good to greats, if not becoming classics at this point. Like, we just love this guy. He just has a real knack for uh, understanding how to get audiences to really appreciate the scope and the widespread love of movies when it comes to his direction, and also within like the actors that he has contributing towards his work, able to get the most out of their performances, and just tells really interesting action movies or really interesting emotional stories, or even some historical stuff like Dunkirk. But here, I mean, if people want to make it out to be like this, to be the culmination of it becoming some of his best work, I could easily be in agreement of that. I thought everything from top to bottom was just exquisite when it came to Nolan's Oppenheimer. I think he did a really great job at, doing what he normally does. He kind of plays with timelines, so he has two timelines going at the same time, despite it being a biopic in some regards, but at the same time, he really does a great job of having you be hooked in on the story, even if at times you're having a difficult time following
Mm-hmm.
along with what's going on, even though it's based on real life events. But he still just makes it really riveting to where you just want to be learning not just about the historical context of what's going on when it comes to the creation of the atomic bomb during World War II, but most importantly, he really talks about like the good and the bad when it came to J. Robert Oppenheimer's evolution as a person when it came to creating it, and then seeing what destruction it became and having the weight of that be on his shoulders. And a lot of that showcasing is not only through Nolan's direction, which is incredible stuff, but also with Cillian Murphy in the lead role. I mean, this cast is stacked. We could go on and on for like an hour about how great the supporting cast is, and rightfully so. But Cillian Murphy that just takes it by the horns and goes all the way with it to the very end. You feel in every single frame and every single shot that he's in of just the different layers that is he's adding on to this character in order for you to understand the ebbs and flows that go with what he's doing in the process of creating and the aftermath as a result. So I just think between Nolan having such a real great handle on being confident in his direction, combined with Cillian Murphy and the rest of the cast just eating up the script. And by the way, I think this is Nolan's first time having it being written by himself. I think most of his other movies were done with his brother, so it's really impressive screenwriting that he's doing here. But on top of that, the score from Ludwig Göransson is incredible, as well as the editing here from Jennifer Lame, who I believe was the editor in charge of this movie. Job well done by them, because they really make sure that you feel the weight of this historical event. And same goes for Oppenheimer as a person, because there is some really great stuff through editing and through the music and the score where you feel the magnitude that really came from this event, even though World War II was already a major event, but this particular part is a real, crux of the war in and of itself. So just really great job of painting that picture by Nolan and the rest of the cast and crew. It's amazing stuff here, and if you can see it on the biggest screen, I implore you to do so.
Is it not Killian? We've been saying it wrong our whole lives.
Um, I've heard of Killian or Cillian. I probably misspoke, and it probably is Killian, knowing me. So I apologize if I was saying Cillian and not Killian, but
No,
it might be.
no, you're usually the guy to get it right. That's why I'm
Well,
asking. I'm the guy that gets it
I've
wrong all the
I
time.
It could have been slip of the tongue. It probably is Killian. I've been wrong a few times, but if anyone does want to correct us, let us know.
I put this at number 4, and I think it might climb on my Nolan rankings. I loved this movie. I did not get to see it in IMAX, but the true 70 millimeter IMAX theaters, there's only 19 of them in the country. One of them is near where I'm moving. If it's still playing there when I'm there in 3 weeks, baby,
You gotta.
it's the first thing we're doing. Are you kidding
Amazing.
me? Are you kidding me? Yeah, I loved this movie from start to finish. I thought I went with a couple friends of mine to Barbie the 20 hours before. Went to this less than a day later with some same friends that overlapped. And some of them said this was faster than Barbie. The Barbie felt longer than this. And I was like, first of all, I felt the runtime in the best ways possible. I didn't want it to end. I wanted it to keep going. I love that you brought up Ludwig because he's the guy that gave us the Mandalorian theme. He is phenomenal as a composer. He is amazing. And so him coming in with that score and the way Nolan edited this film and the way that they shot and made this movie, my heart never stopped beating so fast. I was on the edge of my seat. What incredible thing. And this is a great movie for Nolan, who likes to do a lot of exposition dump. And this is the best place for it because it's all the actors explaining this science that's too much for us in the best way. Cillian Murphy is the front runner for the best actor Oscar, I think, right now. Obviously, every year we get to award season and 15 movies come out, 5 billion independent movies, and then he might not even be nominated. But I hope he is still going to be in the conversation by this time because his performance is so freaking phenomenal. The way this script is written, I loved how he messes with time. I think he messed with time where it was very easy for common moviegoers to understand. And it's not as much as Memento, where Memento is a little bit more challenging. You got to really sit and think, and you had to apply yourself. This was a lot different, and I loved the use of, and it's in the trailers, use of black and white and color. I think this movie's phenomenal. Everything, the atomic bomb stuff was amazing. All the actors, there's a bajillion actors in this movie, and we only know about a few of them. If you are even slightly into movies, you are going to be like, oh, okay. And for me, it didn't take me out of it. I loved it because when you're that good, when it's Star Wars, when it's Steven Spielberg, you want to be in these movies. He is to that point, Nolan. So you want to be in his movies. Even some actors don't have the biggest roles, and they are phenomenal. I loved everybody in this movie so much, and I want to give him incredible props because I think Nolan, as a director's job is to get the best performance out of their actors. And he, for the first time in years, made me actually go, that's not Tony Stark. It's not Robert Downey Jr. I actually, for the first time since, honestly, Chapman and a lot of the movies, he obviously does a great job as Sherlock Holmes, but it's very Tony Stark-esque. And I've seen interviews where he talked about how he told RDJ to lose the charisma. Just get into the character. You don't need to be charismatic. You're not trying to. And I thought RDJ was brilliant in this. It was one of his best performances in a long time because he is really able to sink into a character and not have to be this charming, charismatic, sarcastic, persona. And I loved that so much. Florence Pugh is devastating. I thought Emily Blunt was devastating. They were both so freaking good. Matt Damon, I think, is great. It was a great role for Matt Damon. I love this movie. This movie is dwelling close to perfect for me. I'm not even sure I have any issues. I want to see it again so bad. But Kyle, do you have any negatives?
It's that Nolan thing where sometimes you can't hear some of the dialogue. It happens in a few scenes. I noticed it more so in the beginning. I think it smooths out and is a lot better. And by the way, I didn't see this in my crappy theater that I always complain about. I actually went to an IMAX a few towns over. Still had that same issue when it comes to audio with Christopher Nolan, but I really think it can be forgiven because the script and the actors just being so on board with telling this story does wonders that eventually, like, I'm thinking of, like, those scenes, those little nitpicks, and then after 20 minutes or so, I just realized that I'm immersed, I'm focused, I'm all in. I'm seeing people leaning forward in their chairs, like, not even halfway into the movie because and it's a packed theater, so just seeing so many people lean forward, just being so interested. So, again, it's that Nolan thing. Be prepared for that. That's the one thing that I'm really going to say as a negative too, because I just think everything else, Nolan is back. He is firing on all cylinders. I think this is a terrific movie that he's done. And look, it just goes to be a showcase of the hard work that he never left, but he's back. You know what I mean?
Tenet's great. I don't know why people are acting like Tenet was horrible. Tenet's awesome.
Tenet's a lot of fun. I agree.
It came out at the wrong time. Tenet just came out at the wrong time. And Tenet is not even close to his worst movie.
Definitely. But I'll just wrap up by saying it's another movie that showcases why movies can be art, and they need to be art through humans working together, not from computers. So studios, knock it off with this nonsense. We should not use AI. We should not use computers, because you're not going to get anything to the level that humans bring to the table with this. Pay your actors, pay your writers. We're going to continue doing this with all movies, whether we like them or we don't like them, more negative or less positive or vice versa. We're going to keep harping on this, because that's why movies are special. It's the human element of it, and it's a showcase.
Look at, I guess this could be a minor spoiler, so I'm going to give a very, very, very minor spoiler, but one of the Wolf brothers, I couldn't tell if it was Nat or Al, whoever it was, one of the Naked Brother Band boys is in this movie for a small role. Mm-hmm. Pay him. Pay him what he deserves, because he is phenomenal in a small role. He's in 2 scenes, mm-hmm. and he's great for what he does, and he does exactly what he should, and you should pay him. I agree with you, actually, on the dialogue. I'm glad you brought that up, because my theater, being a great theater, but not IMAX, and whatnot, there were times it was hard to hear. I'm curious if maybe you just got to go in this 70 millimeter, man. You got to go to the real IMAXs, none of these trickster ones. But Nolan does struggle with his dialogue, so I do give you that. I will tell you a funny story, though, is there's about 3 sex scenes in this movie. Okay, there's about 3 moments of at least nudity and sex and things like that.
Mm-hmm.
And by the second one, the couple next to me was probably in their 70s to 80s, and finally the wife was like, "I've had enough," and they just get up. They never came back. I know. And they wanted a nice little movie about the bomb, and they really they got a lot more than they all bargained for, but.
What happened to old-fashioned values?
I know. Yeah, I guess Oppenheimer's gone woke, apparently. There's nudity. Gosh, darn it.
I never thought I'd hear you say that stupid word.
Yeah, you're welcome. The best part of this movie is that it came out along with Barbie, another banger. We'll review that when Kyle freaking sees it.
In an hour. 1 hour.
I have been moving out of my apartment for the last 2 days straight and taking a lot of trips back and forth to where we're storing everything. And I have to go past the movie theater to get there every time here. And every time I've gone past since Thursday, which has been a lot, it is jam-packed. Packed with people. That parking lot is full. Movies, if you still had doubt in your mind, let it go. Because 2 amazing movies have come out that are just phenomenal. They're not based on, yes, Oppenheimer's based on a true story and Barbie's based on a doll, but they are in very essence are more original than a lot of the things we get. They're phenomenal movies. People have been going, they've been loving them. Go to the movies. This is a great weekend to be at the movies. Go run. Why are you walking still? Get out of here. Run. Anyway, anything else?
No. We've said our praises. People get the point. Go see these movies if you haven't. Otherwise, comment below. Alex, do the thing.
Pay your writers. Pay your actors. Pay your writers. Pay your actors. We're going to be singing this song. And, hey, any studios, if you want to offer us some promotions, we will tell you to get the heck out of here, boys. Because you need to be going and paying your writers and paying your actors. Okay?
Yeah.
All right. Go do that. Thank you, my patrons. Got to do that. People pay for this. All that good stuff. And as always, thanks for watching, Mom.
See you guys.